Manchester United have officially bid for Benjamin Sesko, a deal close to 85 million euros. We're going to break down the transfer. We're going to break down what it means for the player for Manchester United and, of course, Newcastle United as well. One thing to say at the start of this video: Benjamin Sesko, one of the most young, exciting strikers in world football, looks like he'll definitely be playing Premier League football next season, joining Haaland, joining Isak, joining Salah, joining Gyökeres. I think it's very exciting for the Premier League, and ultimately he could be at the biggest club in world football, arguably in Manchester United, or Newcastle United, which is a very exciting project nonetheless. And from all accounts, it looks like, despite the fact that Man United have bid a little bit less than Newcastle United, but today have officially bid for the player, it looks like he's leaning towards Manchester United. So we're going to break down why that could be the case, and of course how this affects Ruben Amorim's side at Old Trafford going into the start of the season. Make sure you subscribe and leave your comments down below. Is this the right area that Manchester United need to be looking to strengthen? Do they need more than this? Is it a good deal for all parties? And maybe a little bit about Newcastle United as well, because you'd be gutted, especially if they still lose Isak in this window, which could happen, especially with the amount of money that Liverpool have got to throw about. If they don't get Sesko, Mbeumo, Cunha, the list goes on and on. Mark Gay, he could be going to Liverpool instead of Newcastle United as well. It's a long, sorry list for Newcastle United. Let's just break down Sesko to Manchester United first and foremost. This is a power play. If Man United end up with this kind of striker, with Cunha behind him, with Bruno Fernandes, Diallo, Mbeumo, all behind Sesko, it's an outstanding top-level European striking force. We can debate if Man United justify it with the position that they came in last season, with the amount of money that Jim Ratcliffe suggested in certain interviews last season that Man United have. We can debate that till the cows come home. But on a sporting level, it's a dangerous, scary front three that Man United are starting the season with, and they look a lot more fluid in pre-season. It's not perfect. You can never judge pre-season really too seriously. But Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko going into the start of the season, that is dangerous and it's very dynamic. Sesko's a fantastic footballer, and if he hits the heights that a lot of people, including myself, think he could hit, at Manchester United, he's actually lifting the club on his shoulders. When's the last time Man United had a powerful, skillful, dynamic striker to the level of Sesko? Falcao was crocked when he came. Let's be completely real. Rooney was in and around, sort of playing in midfield at points at the back end of his career in his final 5-10 years at Man United. You think Van Persie, is it as long as that? Lukaku didn't quite work out, scored a few goals. I mean, who's the last player? Zlatan Ibrahimovic was a massive, massive hit. He was right at the back end of his career, and obviously one major injury kind of ended it for him at Manchester United. Sesko at 22 years old, he is ready to explode to the next level. And if he joins Man United over Newcastle United, again, it goes back to this idea that Manchester United carry so much more weight than anyone would ever expect them to in the transfer market, based on where they finished in the last few seasons, based on not being in the Champions League. If Sesko picks Manchester United over Newcastle United, I think it's the one damning moment that any club like Newcastle United ever competing with Manchester United will have to remember, that Benjamin Sesko picked a side that came closer to getting relegated than Newcastle United last season. He still picked Manchester United over them. That's a massive testament to the brand, to the vision, potentially, of what Ratcliffe is trying to do, Ineos is trying to do at Manchester United, that it can attract someone. The proof's in the pudding. If you're attracting top-level talent, that's the facts. He wants to potentially join Manchester United over Newcastle United, even though Newcastle United, and again, there's the proof in the pudding as well, Newcastle United offered more. They offered Champions League football that they're offering at the moment, playing for a far better side. You know, Bruno in midfield, Tonali, the back line's probably better, 90% better, a better manager in my honest opinion. But there's something that Sesko is clearly seeing about the project at Manchester United that is deeply, deeply exciting. You have to look at his numbers in the last couple of seasons to see that Manchester United could be getting a player that is ready to propel himself to the next sort of platform and get Manchester United back into European football. Even if it's the Conference League, even if it's the Europa League, that's where Man United have to go. And the following season, I think they can mount a serious title push with a bit more quality in that side. 39 goals in 87 appearances for Leipzig, obviously featuring top-level performances in the Bundesliga and, of course, Champions League goals as well. Man United signing a Champions League striker. These guys are rare. They're hard to come by. Seriously, it's like It's like one of those rare Charizard cards in Pokemon. You're not going to find them on the street. Gyökeres is one, Sesko's one, Haaland, Kane, Lewandowski. Then you're running out. Mbappe, of course, is another one. Osman's in Turkey. You're really running out. It's probably 9 or 10 in world football. Man United having one of them. It's like a trump card. It's an unbelievable statement for Manchester United. And last season, 21 goals, 6 assists. So this guy's numbers are steadily increasing. 1 in 2 last season, 6 Champions League goals as well. You feel that in the Premier League, it is still a robust, physical, tough tackling league. Lots of intensity, lots of high energy. Sesko's built for it. His stature's huge. He's got a good touch. He can link up play. He's got great pace. He's electric pace. And when he smashes the ball, sometimes football's a simple sport. Sometimes you just have to hit the ball really hard between the posts. And great strikers, Haaland did it, Harry Kane can do it, Alan Shearer did it. Ultimately, Sesko can get the ball and hit it really hard from 20 yards out. Sometimes you need that in football. We all love passing it into the net, and we love XG and the stats. Sesko, for me, screams the kind of guy that can just do simple things at a high level, and he has that little bit of pizzazz on top. He has that little bit of technical brilliance. I think he can bring Mbeumo. I think he can bring Cunha into play. I think he'll be a joy for those guys to play with. They'll be playing with someone that arguably has got a higher ceiling than both of those guys combined. I mean, Mbeumo is a top-level Premier League footballer, so is Cunha. Sesko's a Champions League footballer, to the likes of which the front three at Man United currently aren't. What does it mean for Højlund? Does it make Leipzig, if they want to replace Sesko for now as a stopgap, does Højlund go to Leipzig on loan? Does Højlund go for a competitive fee for Manchester United to smooth things over? That is very interesting in a different kind of way as well. The shout of Ollie Watkins, the shout of Vlahovic going to Manchester United in recent days just doesn't scream the project that Manchester United do need to build. Sesko makes them highly competitive. He stays there for 5, 6, 7 years, signs a mega contract. It makes them mega competitive in a way that the other players don't. Let's be completely real. I like Vlahovic, I like Ollie Watkins, but they aren't world beaters, potentially in the way that Benjamin Sesko could be. We have to spare a thought for Newcastle United as well. They've bid more. They've bid a higher level sporting project. I think Eddie Howe's a better manager than Ruben Amorim. Everything is geared up for Sesko to come in and be an absolute hero for Newcastle United. Is he perturbed about the Isak deal? Is he stressing out about the state of Newcastle United's ability to spend in the market? By the way, I don't necessarily agree with it. I think if Newcastle United achieve what they've achieved in the last few years, I think they shouldn't be as hamstrung as they are by PSR. That's my gut feeling. Manchester United swooping in and be able to outcompete Newcastle United might seem a little bit unfair to Newcastle United fans. They have to go out. If they don't get Sesko, they have to go out and make a statement. I don't know how that looks. There aren't many players in world football that Newcastle United could sign to replace Isak. Or if they're going to lump 90 million euros into Sesko, why not give Isak 450 grand a week? I mean, it's absurd numbers. I know it is. But if the money's there for transfers, why not just put half of it towards a huge mega contract for Isak, for Tonali, for Bruno, for Gordon? Why not protect yourself? Protect your intellectual property. Protect what you've got available to you. That's the discussion for Newcastle United. But I think he'll join Manchester United. I really do. I think it's a competitive bid. Looks like Leipzig are kind of accepting of both the bids, and it could be a decision that Sesko now has to make in the imminent kind of time frame. I think he joins Manchester United. I think it's actually a very good deal. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. By the way, is the price right? Is he worth 90 million euros? I'd say it's a decent price, not the best value in the world. But again, beggars can't be choosers. I think ultimately he's a very, very good footballer. Cut out, ready for the Premier League. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down below. I'll see you very, very soon.